Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of First Chronicles, the 23rd chapter. Solomon reigns. And as we went through in the 22nd chapter, with David charging Solomon to build the house of the Lord, and instructing him in the manners in which he should go to remain prosperous before the Lord. So when David was old and full of days, he made Solomon his son king over Israel. And he gathered to, and full of days meaning he was aged. And he gathered together all the princes of Israel with the priests and the Levites. Now the Levites were numbered from the age of 30 years and upward, and their number by their polls, man by man, was 30 and 8,000. So those that were numbered or had a head count for were of the age 30 and up. And they were, the numbering of them, each man was 38,000, of which 20 and 4,000 were set forward, or were to set forward the work of the house of the Lord Yahweh, and 6,000 were officers and judges. So you had those that would be doing the labor, the actual temple labor, and you had those that were, as it says, officers and judges, you know, in positions of overseeing, all right, and so on. Moreover, 4,000 were porters, which are gatekeepers, and 4,000 praised the Lord Yahweh with the instruments which I made, said David, to praise therewith, and those were the musicians. And David divided them into courses among the sons of Levi. And the courses meaning, like when you go to the book of Luke, I believe it's the first chapter, coming down, yeah, Luke 1 and 5, it says, there was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias. Now this priest was the father of John the Baptist, and he was a Levite, of the course of Abiah or Abiah, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. So when it says of the course of Abiah, this is the foundation of that we're reading in First Chronicles 23, meaning David divided the sons of Levi by course, and each family or of the sons of Levi had a particular role to play in terms of the service of the temple. And so, as was the role appointed to those of Abiah, right, of that course, Zechariah was doing according to that when it was his turn to serve in the temple, as we read, or as you read when you go into Luke, the first chapter. So back to First Chronicles chapter 23. David divided them into courses among the sons of Levi, namely Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Of the Gershonites were Ladan and Shimei. The sons of Ladan, the chief was Jehiel and Zetham and Joel, 3. So the head sons of Ladan, or descendants of him. The sons of Shimei, Shelomith and Haziel and Haran, 3. These were the chief of the fathers of Ladan, or Leadan. And the sons of Shimei were Jahath, Zina, and Jeush, and Beriah. These 4 were the sons of Shimei. And Jahath was the chief, and Ziza the second. But Jeush and Beriah had not many sons. Therefore they were in one reckoning, according to their father's house. And when you look this up, I believe they combined them. Yeah, so I'll read it in both here, but in the NLT it says, Jahath was the family leader, and Ziza was next. Jeush and Beriah were counted as a single family because neither had many sons. So they joined them into one. So if they were divided, their course would be, would be one. The sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uziel, 4. And this, well, it's going to tell you, but this Amram was the father of Aaron and Moses. The sons of Amram, Aaron, and Moses. And Aaron was separated that he should sanctify the most holy things, which the Lord chose that. He and his sons forever, to burn incense before the Lord Yahweh, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name forever. Now concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar. Of the sons of Gershom, Shebuel was the chief. The sons of Eleazar were Rehabiah the chief. And Eleazar had none other sons, but the sons of Rehabiah were very many. So Eleazar's grandsons was a lot, but he only had Rehabiah, which was his son. Of the sons of Izhar, Shilomith the chief. Of the sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, Jehaziel the third, and Jekameam the fourth. Of the sons of Uziel, Micah the first, and Jesiah the second. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi. The sons of Mali, Eleazar and Kish. And Eleazar died and had no sons, but daughters. And their brethren, the sons of Kish, took them. So that would be the cousins, right? Because Eleazar's brother was Kish, but Eleazar had daughters, and Kish had sons, right? So the daughters, the Kish would have been the uncle of Eleazar's daughters, making his sons their cousins, which was lawful in the scriptures to take to wife. The sons of, and that's what they did. The sons of Mushi, Mali, and Adair, and Jerimoth, 3. These were the sons of Levi after the house of their fathers, even the chief of the fathers, as they were counted by number of names by their polls, that did the work for the service of the house of the Lord Yahweh from the age of 20 years and upward. For David said, The Lord Yahweh God of Israel hath given rest unto his people, that they may dwell in Jerusalem forever. And also unto the Levites, they shall no more carry the tabernacle, nor any vessels of it, for the service thereof. So no longer do they have to, pack up the tabernacle, because even in that, there was a order about it. Which family would carry what, which family would deal with what, and so on. But here, having a house that would be built, it would be stationary. So there wouldn't be a need for, a service of carrying the tabernacle, because it would be a building now. Verse 27. For by the last words of David, the Levites were numbered from 20 years old and above, because their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron. Now you might ask, well, how come the Lord didn't judge him for this? Right? Why was this different? Because here he was numbering or getting a head count for Levites 20 years and older, which is different than what he did in numbering all of Israel to try and get a total sum of all the Israelites, when the Lord explicitly, that's why he mentioned Israel being as the sand of the sea, meaning they're innumerable, not to be counted. All right, for that purpose. Here, this was more of a poll or a head count of the Levites for the purpose of appointing the different offices and dividing them accordingly. Because their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of the Lord, meaning they would serve, right, and assist the sons of Aaron with whatever they needed in the courts and in the chambers and in the purifying of all holy things. So washing the animal, getting the water, fetching the instrument, the materials and tools and all those things, and the work of the service of the house of God. So the working in the temple as a priest, it wasn't a light thing. Okay, it was labor, right? The temple was a building, right, and it had to be maintained. You needed money. When it came to sacrifices, you had to prepare it, just like you would buy groceries and prepare food. Well, the sacrifices, you had to kill it, you had to wash it, you had to clean it, you had to cut it up, you had to offer it, right? All of these things were done. Verse 29. Both for the shewbread and for the fine flour for meat offering and for the unleavened grain. And then when you go into that word meat for meat offering, I believe it goes into, is it a grain or a gift? There you go, a gift offering or grain offering. So it says meat offering, but it's not actually meat. And you might wonder, well, why does it say flour for meat offering? It's really grain offering. And for the unleavened cakes, and for that which is baked in the pan, and for that which is fried, and for all manner of measure and size. And this would be what those Levites would do in assisting the sons of Aaron. And to stand every morning to thank and praise the Lord Yahweh, and likewise at even. And to offer all burnt sacrifices unto the Lord Yahweh in the Sabbaths, and in the new moons, and on the set feasts, by number, according to the order commanded unto them, continually before the Lord. So the families were broken up, right? And whoever's role it was to burn incense or to handle the shewbread or to, handle the sacrifices, they all had their different orders. And that they should keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the holy place, and the charge of the sons of Aaron, their brethren, in the service of the house of the Lord Yahweh. And that brings us to the end of the book of 1 Chronicles, the 23rd chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kudash. And until next time, Shalom.